Right. All praises to the Most High. All praises, man. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Shema Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. That's who the word only calls Jesus Christ. I'm Shatar Dabak Ward.
I'm Shatar Kudash.
Man, and we back at it, man. Another Sicarii Soul Food Saturday lesson, man. As you can see, it's the European slave competition, man. So what I want to do, man, is some way get into the basically the slave trade, man. Transatlantic slave trade. Go into a little bit of biblical history on that. See what tribes were actually taken in the slave trade, and just basically, it ain't an in-depth lesson, but to skim over what was actually going on, right? So just to start it off, man, let's get some scriptures, right? Let's get some scriptures. Let me get Luke. Was it 21 and 24, right?
Book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations.
Right, and they shall be led away captive to all nations, right? Let me start. Start at verse 20, right? Let's go to verse 20.
Book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies.
Jerusalem compassed with armies, right? Go ahead.
Then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
So the desolation thereof is nigh. What abomination of desolation is he talking about? He's talking about Daniel 9 and 24, right? Go ahead.
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains.
So them that be in Judea, the people that are in Israel, let them flee to the mountains. What mountains is it talking about? The lower mountains. He's telling them to run into Africa, right? Go ahead.
And let them which are in the midst of it depart out. And let not them that are in the countries enter therein too.
Yeah, man, get the hell out of Israel and don't go back, right? Go ahead.
For these be the days of vengeance.
For these be the what?
Days of vengeance.
So this is the Messiah, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. He is talking about this is the days of vengeance. This is 70 AD. The Most High is going to execute judgment. So he's prophesying about 70 AD, right? Go ahead.
For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land.
Yeah, because who wants to be or have a young child at the time where Jerusalem, everything is being destroyed? It's going to be hard to run away from these armies, right? So he's letting them know how hard those days are going to be, right? Go ahead.
And wrath upon this people.
Upon this people, the Israelites, right? Go ahead.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword. And shall be led away captive into all nations.
And shall be what?
Led away captive into all nations.
This is the prophecy of the transatlantic slave trade right here. And shall be led away captives into all nations, right? Go ahead.
And shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down in the Gentiles.
So Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, right? Jerusalem is going to be destroyed. That's what he's talking about, right?
Until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
So Jerusalem is going to be destroyed by the Gentiles and going to be controlled by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Well, where can we find the times of the Gentiles at? You know? Oh, you finna say it? Go ahead.
I was like Daniel 7.
Yeah, but yeah, Daniel 7.
I forgot that verse.
Yeah. But that's the times of the Gentiles. They are going to be able to control Israel until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled, which shows you what? Like, man. Hey, Chief got my Bible, so.
7 and 25.
What did it say? Go ahead, read it.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High. He shall wear out the saints of the Most High. And think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time.
So that's us being in the hands of them until the time and dividing the time. All right, Lord, let me get there, man. But how everybody doing in the chat? And you read 25, right? Read it again.
Book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 25.
Hold on, let's start a little bit. Yeah, start at 22.
Daniel 7.
Also, Tanya, man, the water. Also, to the people in the chat, man, how everybody doing? Like, share, and subscribe, man. Y'all have to like the video and share the video so we can break through the algorithm, right? So like, share, and subscribe. But to Sister Tanya, thank you, right? But go ahead with Daniel.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Till the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High.
Uh-huh.
The time came that the saints possessed the kingdom.
So it's a time coming where the saints possess the kingdom. This is what Yahweh was talking about, us getting the kingdom, right? Go ahead.
Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth. So what is that talking about? Rome, right? Go ahead. And shall tread it down and break it in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. So what is this dealing with? The EU, the 10 horns, right? Go ahead. And another shall rise after them. And he shall be diverse from the first. And another one shall rise out of them. That's dealing with America, and he shall be diverse, right? Go ahead. And he shall subdue 3 kings. Which is the 3 places that come out of, right? Spain, France, and England. Spain, France, and England, right? Go ahead. And he shall speak great words against the Most High. And that's what he do right now. What is it dealing with? America, right? America speak great words against the Most High. Matter of fact, they blaspheme God. America does everything that God says don't do, right? Go ahead. It shall wear out the saints of the Most High. And that's what he's doing. Black, Hispanic, Native, and Seminole Indians, what are you doing? Esau is wearing your ass out right now. No kidding. Right now. Right? Like you said. Pause, right? Go ahead. And think to change times and laws. And that's what he did. He changed times and laws, right? Now it's a law, to keep Christmas. But don't you niggas go out there and tell them you're the Israelites. Oh, hell no. All hell will break loose, right? Go ahead. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. And that's right. Keep going. Verse 26, but the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion. And that's right. The Most High is going to judge their ass, and he's going to take away their dominion, right? Their rulership, right? Go ahead. To consume and to destroy it until the end. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints. Shall be doing what? Given to the people of the saints. Shall be given to the people of the saints, right? Keep going. Of the Most High. But in context, who are the saints? Israelites. It's the Israelites, right? So the saints are the Israelites according to context, right? Go ahead. Whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. Meaning our rulership is an everlasting rulership. Once Christ comes into rulership, his kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, right? Go ahead. And all dominions shall serve and obey him. And that's right. And if you don't get down, you're going to lay down. Most High, Christ, going out here kill these people, right? But this is just a cold point, right? Read 27 again, right? Daniel 7, verse 27. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. Shall be given to the saints of the Most High, right? So when you get into the epistles of Paul, right? This is just totally off cuff, right? So when you get into the epistles of Paul, right? Go to Romans 1 and 7. Because the saints in context are the Israelites. So when Paul is writing to these people, guess what he's addressing them as? The Israelites, right? Go ahead. Go to Romans chapter 1, verse 7. To all that be in Rome. So everyone that's in Rome, go ahead. Beloved of God. Called to be saints. Called to be what? Saints. It's the same saints that's in Daniel 7. Called to be saints, right? Go ahead. Grace to you and peace from God. Right. So, Father. So let's go to the next one, right? Let's go to Corinthians, right? 1 Corinthians 1 and 2. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 2. Unto the church of God, which is at Corinth. So to the people that's in Corinth, which is in Greece, right? To them that are sanctified in Christ Jesus. Called to be saints. Called to be what? Saints. It's the same saints. Paul wasn't going to nobody different but to the Israelites. So we can just keep doing it. What's the very next one? Galatians. But y'all get the point, right? Y'all get the point. The saints
who Paul is talking to, he always addressed it to be saints, right? So just another one, Psalms 50 and 5, like
the book of Psalms, chapter 50, verse 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
A covenant made by sacrifice. That's that old covenant, or what they call the old covenant, right? That's the covenant we made with Moses, right? So that was just totally off of subject, but I just wanted to prove that point. Like when you get into these prophecies and these saints and all this, Paul is calling these people saints because they're the Israelites, right? So let's go back to what we was doing, right? Like give me Matthew 24 and 1. Also like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 1. And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple.
So they're walking out the temple, and he's showing them the buildings around, right? Go ahead.
And Jesus said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily, I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another.
So what is this? 70 AD, right? Go ahead.
That shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. So
don't let nobody lie to you people, right? Go ahead.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ.
So I'll say what?
I am Christ.
Like literally, not what 2 weeks ago, this nigga named Yah Judah saying he was Christ. Literally came to camp and said, I am Christ. You should follow me. I'm from Bethlehem. All this stuff, right? Which shows what we're in end times, right? Go ahead.
And shall deceive many.
And he was a goddamn liar, right? Go ahead.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
And we see these things that's going on right now, right? Go ahead.
See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass.
And this is why you shouldn't be troubled, because once you understand prophecy, certain things that happen, you can't get upset. Okay, this is going on with prophecy. This is biblical knowledge. We understand what's going on. We can't be upset. Like we can't act like the Gentiles. You know what I'm saying? It's a goddamn eclipse, and they act like, oh my God, this is the most beautiful thing that we ever seen. Like, all right. And our people be losing their goddamn mind, right? But we don't be deceived nor too involved with what's going on with the world because of prophecy, right? Go ahead, King.
Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes.
And we see these things right now: famine, pestilence, and earthquakes. Earthquakes in New York, right? Go ahead.
In diverse places.
And where?
Diverse places.
And that's a diverse place to have a earthquake. That's not usual. That's uncommon, right? Go ahead.
We just felt the earthquake out here about a week ago.
For real, it was an earthquake in Georgia. For real, you felt it too?
I didn't feel it, but I heard about it.
Oh man. I didn't
know.
know. About it. All right, go ahead.
Verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
And this is just the beginning of things. So people don't get caught up because this is just the beginning, right? Go ahead.
Verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations.
And this is dealing with us right now. Like all these things are going to happen, right? Go ahead.
For my name's sake.
Because we love Yahushua HaMashiach, right? Go ahead.
Verse 10. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another.
And we offended people all the time, right? That's what Paul said. Have I became your enemy because I tell you the truth? A lot of when you living in a world of sin, in a world that's just chaotic and all this madness going on, nobody likes the light. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen somebody that was sleeping in the dark? You just turn that light on, they just be like, oh no,
it hurts.
It hurts.
Literally.
That light hurts that eye because they're so used to darkness. And that's what's going on right now, right? Go ahead.
And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many.
And we see that now. Wasn't Jesus supposed to come in the eclipse?
Hey, that's what they say.
Like many false prophecies, right? Jesus supposed to come in the eclipse. Then we're gonna get raptured up, and then we're gonna be with white Jesus, right? We're gonna be okay.
Yeah, a lot of people see. You hear about the story with the sister out there in California.
We ain't going to it.
She was used to be into astrology or whatever, whatnot. She stabbed her husband up, stabbed him like 100 times. Took off with the kids. She She had 2 daughters. She threw her 2 daughters out on the freeway on the 405.
She threw them out on the freeway.
Car. Threw them out.
Gucci Mane style.
Died. 9-year-old survived.
Good Lord.
And then she drove her car into a tree and killed herself. They were trying to say that they think it was some type of sacrifice to some type of pagan god or something. Because when they went and searched the house, they found black feathers. Yeah. Like she did a ritual type thing.
No, that's wild.
And then she killed. She tried to kill everybody. She's talking about it's the end. She had to get him up out of here before the solar eclipse was over.
So what? So what's supposed to go like?
Don't ask me, brother.
I don't know, like that's just like. So if I die before the solar eclipse, like some deity is going to save me.
You're gonna have eternal life.
And so, brother,
that made no sense.
Waiting for him on the other side. That was the portal.
And it just threw him out on the highway.
Threw him out on the highway, brother. The 9-year-old survived. The younger one died. She'd only survived the whole ordeal. The 9-year-old daughter.
And now the 9-year-old daughter is traumatized.
Now she got to live with that the rest of her life.
She's traumatized because her mother is a goddamn idiot.
Yes.
Good Lord.
Fucking stupid.
Oh man. Hey man, that's how you know we know end times. Like where were you at? Where you at?
Verse I think 10, I think. Yeah, verse 12.
No, and this is the perfect verse to read too, right here, right? Go ahead.
And because iniquity shall abound.
Because people continually sin, because iniquity shall abound, right? Go ahead.
The love of many shall wax cold.
Shall what?
Wax cold.
And that's dealing with the story you just saying. Because she's so wrapped up in sin and astrology and all this madness that she kills the I think her husband or boyfriend.
Yeah.
Kills the boyfriend, kills the little kid, throws the other one out on the highway, and then crashes.
Both of them out on the highway. Just one died, one survived. Yeah, and then ran her car into a tree.
Well, it's messed up as sound, man. I'm glad the Most High killed her. I'm glad God killed her. She deserved that.
Baby didn't deserve it.
Now I'm saying that baby didn't deserve it, but she sure as hell deserved to die. God damn it. Hey man, I'm all with the Lord's judgment. Lord's judgment, man. God kill your ass. Hey, way I see it, man, it was already predestined that you should go like that. Hey, it's mess up as it sounds. I'm a victim blamer. I'd be like, who the hell makes you that mad? Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it led me to the truth. I said, man, why the hell is God so mad at black people?
I used to ask that.
You know what I'm saying? What the hell we do to make that? What the hell we do to make God so mad that he put us on a goddamn slave ship? How did that happen? I'm victim blaming. I'm blaming us, right? Go ahead.
Verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
And that's what you got to do. You have to endure to the end to get salvation. So all these people going around saying they're saved, no, you have to endure to the end, right? Go ahead.
Verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
And this is what's happening right now. We're preaching the gospel, the true gospel, and it's a witness. It's the testimony against all these nations that what? You have touched God's chosen people, and the wrath of God is upon y'all now, right? Go ahead.
And then shall the end come.
And then what?
Shall the end come.
And that's what's going to happen, right? Go ahead.
Verse 15. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation.
70 AD, right? Go ahead.
Spoken of by Daniel the prophet. Stand in the holy place. Whoso readeth, let him understand.
If you read these things and you understand these prophecies, right? Go ahead.
Verse 16. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
It's saying the same thing. Go to run into Africa. So Africa, right? So let's get Daniel 9:24, right?
It's the book of Daniel.
That's right. The Most High is the king of terrors. Shalom to the tribe of Judah.
9:24.
Yeah, 9:24.
Daniel chapter 9 and verse 24. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people.
So these are dealing with spiritual years. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people. What does these 70 weeks stand for? 490 years, right? Go ahead.
And upon the holy city. To finish the transgression, and to make an end of sins, and to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy.
And to anoint the most holy. What is the most holy? That's the 144 and the 1/3, right? The 144,000 and the 1/3. That's the most holy who what Christ came to anoint. So all these are talking about what Christ came to do and what Christ is coming to implement on his second coming, right? Go ahead.
No, I mean now, well, know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks.
Shall be 7 weeks, right? Go ahead.
And 62 weeks. And the street shall be built again. And the wall, even in troublous times.
And that's what happened in Ezra, right? Them building up the wall in troublous times, right? Go ahead.
And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off.
So what is it saying? After 434 years, the Messiah shall be cut off, right? That's talking about Christ dying for the children of Israel, right? Go ahead.
But not for himself. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city. So who is the prince? The prince is Titus Van Spajan, right? Hope I'm pronouncing it right. But Titus Van Spajan, right? He's coming to destroy Israel, right? Go ahead. And the sanctuary. And the end thereof shall be with a flood. And that flood is dealing with his armies, right? Go ahead. And unto the end of the war, desolation. The what? Desolation. And that's the desolation that Christ was speaking of, right? Go ahead. Or determined. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. So who is the he? The he is Titus Van Spajan, right? He's going to confirm the covenant, right? Go ahead. And in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblations to cease. So what is the week? The week is the Roman Jewish war from 66 AD, right? To 73 AD, right? And in the middle of the week is 70 AD, right? Go ahead. And for the overspreading of abominations, he shall make it desolate. He shall what? Make it desolate. He's going to destroy it, right? Go ahead. Even unto the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. All right. So that's all I need. Let's get Revelation 12:1. The book of Revelation, chapter 12, from the top. Why am I going through all these scriptures? Because we have to realize or figure out how the hell did we get from Israel all the way over here to Americas? Because it's called the European slave competition. So we got to understand how if you already understand that how we got to Israel with Most High making the covenant with Abraham, and then we're going in, with Joseph being a leader, and then we become a nation in Egypt. So we understand that story of how we got to Israel. Now we got to understand the story how we got from Israel to the west coast of Africa to be put on slave boats to have a what? European slave competition, right? So let's get Revelations 12:1. The book of Revelation, chapter 12, from the top. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. So the woman is Israel, right? Go ahead. And upon her head a crown of 12 stars. There you go, the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Go ahead. And she being with child cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon. And who is that great red dragon? The Roman Empire, right? Go ahead. Having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his head. Dealing with what? East Rome and West Rome, right? It was 2 power structures, right? Go ahead. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven. So what is the third part of the stars of heaven? Is dealing with the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and them kicking us out of Israel. What we just read was Titus Van Spajan. Oh, it's Van Spajan. It's like if I'm saying his name wrong, right? Go ahead. And did cast him to the earth. And kicked them out, right? Go ahead. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered. And who is that woman that's ready to be delivered? Is dealing with Israel in the birth of Christ and Herod and these people trying to kill Christ, right? Go ahead. To be delivered, or to devour her child as soon as it was born. And that's what Herod tried to do, right? He tried to kill Christ as soon as he was born, right? Go ahead. And she brought forth the man-child, who was to rule all nations. Who was to what? Rule all nations. Which proved that this is who the world calls Jesus Christ, Yahushua Mashiach, right? Go ahead. With a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto God. Meaning he died, he went to heaven, right? Go ahead. And to his throne. And to the right hand of God, right? Go ahead. And the woman fled into the wilderness. And it said the what? And the woman fled into the wilderness. And the woman fled into the wilderness. The wilderness is Africa. We fled into the wilderness, right? Go ahead. The woman fled into the wilderness. Verse 6. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. So what is that? 1,260 days. 1,260 days. So it's dealing with the time we was in the west coast of Africa, right? All right, let's another precept. Micah 4:10. The book of Micah, chapter 4, verse 10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon.
Hey, break that down right quick.
Just like he was bringing out in the book of Revelations, it's basically just giving more insight on the same thing. It's saying that be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion. This is us going through the tribulations of when they raided the Jerusalem in 70 AD, right? For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field. This is when we left Jerusalem, and then we went into the western shores of Africa. You know what I'm saying? And the city, and there shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. So this shows us from us leaving Jerusalem, going into the western shores of Africa, and then being taken from the western shores of Africa and going all the way to the Americas, which is Babylon. There shall thou be delivered. So when we get to these Americas, which was not called America then, but you know, when we get to these Americas, which is Babylon, that's where we're going to be delivered from at that point. There the Lord shall redeem thee from the hand of thy enemies. So we still will be in the hands of our enemies at that time in the place of America, which is spiritually Babylon.
Hey, go into it, brother. That's what I'm talking about. So all these things shows you how we get from there, right? And what Christ did was prophesied of the transatlantic slave trade. All this is transatlantic slave trade right here. So it shows how we be dispersed. So first of all, let's get Genesis 15 and 13, because a lot of our people believe Genesis 15 and 13 is dealing with America. Genesis 15 and 13 is not dealing with America. It's dealing with ancient Egypt, right?
This is the book of Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land.
It says what?
That thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
So when you break it down, right, this is a 400-year period, but it's not a 400-year period of straight slavery, right? So read it again, right?
Verse 13 of Genesis 15. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land.
So this 400 years, we're going to be a stranger, right? Go ahead.
That is not theirs. And shall serve them.
And then we're going to serve them, right? This is all within the 400 years. So we're a stranger, and then we're going to serve them, right? Go ahead.
And they shall afflict them 400 years.
And then we get afflicted 400 years. So that's when you deal with the Egyptologists. They're going to say there's nowhere in history that it was a group of people being oppressed and enslaved for 400 years. Well, the scripture is not saying that. It's saying we're going to be in a land 400 years, and then it describes what will happen to us in those 400 years, right? Go ahead.
Verse 14. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge.
He's going to judge that nation, right? Go ahead.
And afterwards shall they come out with great substance.
And also, I meant to add that 400-year period is consistent from Abraham to Moses. So that's the 400-year period from Abraham to Moses. And from Abraham to Moses, that 400 years, we're going to be strangers. We're going to get afflicted. And we're going to be strangers. We're going to serve them. And then we're going to be afflicted, right? Slaki, so go ahead. My fault. Go ahead.
Verse 15. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt
Slaki, read 14 again. Slaki.
Verse 14 of Genesis 15. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge.
Will I what?
Judge. And afterward shall they come out with great substance.
And it says afterwards they shall what?
Come out with great substance.
So when we leave America, are we coming out of America with great substance? Are we going to come out of America with niggas' little Jordan collections? You know?
So niggas holding on to that BS.
You know what I'm saying? You niggas going to make it out of America with your Jordan collection.
Not my Jordans.
You know what I'm saying? That's that great substance, huh? That's the great substance, not?
Wow.
Like, or your Louis Vuitton or whatever BS that you like over here in America. Is that the great substance? You see what I'm saying? So when you go to these scriptures, you got to break it down, right? So it says they shall leave with great substance, right? Let's get the great substance that they left with, right? Get Exodus 12 and 35.
The book of Exodus chapter 12, verse 35.
That's right, man. Brother said he's making out here with his Kobe collection, man.
That's not what you're doing.
Said, man, nigga, die, man. This is a collector item.
You taking no space on the chair because you want to carry all that BS.
Nah, man. He gonna tell
10 bodies you can fit right there.
Say, God, when you send that chariot, man, I'm gonna need a little U-Haul to go with that, right? Nah. All right.
Verse 35 of Exodus chapter 12. And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses. And they borrowed of the Egyptians jewels of silver, right?
And
jewels of gold and raiment. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians.
And the Most High gave them favor in the sight of the Egyptians, right? Go ahead.
So that they lent unto them such things as they required.
Go ahead.
And they spoiled the Egyptians.
They did what?
Spoiled the Egyptians.
They spoiled them. They got all their gold, their silver, and you know what they did? They walked out with it. How the hell you think they made a golden calf?
That's just spiritual though, like real. Think about it. What happens when you see most things get destroyed on a magnitude scale around Black people or Hispanics and Native Americans? What we normally do? We loot.
Yeah.
And that sounds like that's what's gonna happen there. We go hit the Navy, Federal, get all the gold bricks. We up out of here. Christ is back.
Oh my God. Hey man, don't tell me the dude who said he was leaving with his Jordan, his Kobe collection is Zamyar.
Is it?
It says Zamyar Sicarii.
Wow.
I don't even know if that's really him, man. Oh my God, Zamyar, you going off, Hawk.
Oh, no.
Nah, he's just joking, man. He's just joking. He's joking.
He's clowning.
This nigga's wild.
Kobe, y'all. That's funny.
But that is the great substance, right? All right, let's go back, man. Let's go back. No, well, just to give me to show you that when we make it out of here, we're not leaving with nothing, right? Give me Revelations 11 and 12, right?
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither.
It says what?
Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in the cloud.
So when the chariots come and they say, come up hither, right? They just ascended up in the cloud. They're not leaving with nothing. Niggas ain't taking no Bentleys, no Rolls Royce. Niggas like, ah, man. You know what I'm saying?
There ain't no time to go gather nothing.
You're not gathering nothing, right? They just ascended up in the cloud, right? Go ahead.
And their enemies beheld them.
And their what?
Enemies beheld them.
And these people want to see our salvation, right? Go ahead.
So like before I read this, imagine how the Edomites is gonna feel to be standing right there next to you, talking smack like you at work when it happened. And he talking, you know, you work for me, and you just fly in the sky. And you looking like, what the hell?
Oh my God! Oh my God!
It really is the damn Jews.
Oh my God! You know all them niggas who be on the camp. You know how much shit these niggas gonna talk. If hey, just let us rise up. Right there, niggas just shoot middle fingers. Oh my God! Oh my God! That's gonna be the most niggerish scene I've ever seen, man. Oh. Hey, yeah, right. Get Wisdom of Solomon 5, right?
You want to get it for real?
Yeah, get Wisdom of Solomon 5. I'm dead serious. Oh my God!
Wow.
What? Oh man, could you imagine you be at camp and then here comes your house and y'all niggas is at camp roasting somebody, getting on them scriptures like, see, nigga, I was telling the truth the whole time. Niggas ain't want to listen, and you just floating up. Start at verse 1.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 from the top. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
They're going to be amazed that you were actually the real Jews. They're going to be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, right? Go ahead.
So far beyond all that they looked for. So it ain't nothing like what they thought, huh?
And this ain't what you thought, right?
And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometime in derision.
Yep.
And a proverb of reproach.
You know, they called us all types of stuff, right? Go ahead.
We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of God?
How are they the children of Israel, right?
And his lot is among the saints.
How the hell did this happen?
They better figure that out. Lost.
Straight loss, right? That's the end on that?
Yeah, unless you want to go some more.
What is the next one say?
Verse 6. Therefore have we erred from the way of truth.
Yeah, keep going.
And the light of righteousness have not shined unto us.
They're going to realize they're idiots, right? Go ahead.
And the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through the deserts where there lay no way.
They're going to realize they didn't know what the hell they was talking about.
But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So let's go and get back to Genesis.
Who's on Revelation?
That's all I need.
Yeah,
go back to Genesis. Because I just want to show in Revelations that we ain't leaving with great substance. We're just getting beamed up.
Genesis 15.
Yep.
And
read 14. We start back at 14.
And 14. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards shall they come out with great substance.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. But in the fourth generation, they shall come hither again.
Who's the hither again? The land of Canaan. Israel, right? Go ahead.
And the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full.
So this shows you it's ancient, right? Because who are the hell are the Amorites? What is, you know what I'm saying? So that shows you. That's dealing with that, right? But also just to proof text it to show that it's also give me Acts 7 and 6. You can show it in the New Testament. Stephen, he lets you know that was dealing with ancient Egypt, right?
The book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
And God spake on this wise, that his seed should sojourn in a strange land, and that they should bring them into bondage and entreat them evil 400 years.
The same thing, right? So drop down to verse 17.
Acts 7 and 17. But when the time of the promise drew nigh, which God had sworn to Abraham, the people grew and multiplied in Egypt.
So the promise, that's the promise he's talking about. It's the same thing he's talking about in ancient Egypt, right? So once that promise, the same thing that in Genesis 15, once it's drew nigh, it's explaining it, right? Keep going.
Verse 18. Till another king arose, which knew not Joseph. The same dealt subtilly with our kindred, and evil entreated our fathers, so that they cast out their young children to the end they might not live.
To the end they might not live. So that shows you what Stephen said, that 400-year captivity was ancient Egypt. So how do we get to American captivity? We get it through what? Ezekiel. So let's get Ezekiel 4. Ezekiel 4 is the transatlantic slave trade. It is dealing with Israel, right? So let's break this thing on down, right?
Book of Ezekiel, chapter 4 from the top.
Thou
also, son of man, take thee a towel.
So it says, take thee a towel, son of man. This is Ezekiel, right? Go ahead.
And lay it before thee. And portray upon it the city.
So he said, make a city, right? Go ahead.
Even Jerusalem.
Even Jerusalem. So this is actually dealing with the people of Israel, right? Sometimes it can be talking about the land. Sometimes it can be talking about the kingdoms. But this is dealing with both kingdoms, right? So this is dealing with the people of Israel, both kingdoms, right? And to proof it, give me Zechariah 1 and 19.
The book of Zechariah 1, verse 19. And I said unto the angel that talked with me, what be these? And he answered me, these are the horns which have scattered Judah. Which has
scattered Judah, right? The southern kingdom, right? Go ahead.
Israel.
The northern kingdom, right? Go ahead.
And Jerusalem.
And what?
Jerusalem.
All of us. I thought Jerusalem was. How do you scatter the land of Jerusalem? You just take a little bit of land here, you go throw it in China. Take a little bit of land, you go throw it in Europe.
I said break it up amongst other nations.
Yeah. So it shows you when it's talking about Jerusalem, even though sometimes it can be talking about a place, it can also be talking about a people. So when we go back to Ezekiel 4 and 1, it's dealing with the people and not the place. All right, go ahead.
Back to Ezekiel?
Yes, sir.
Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 2. And lay siege against it, and build a fort against it, and cast a mount against it. Set the camp also against it, and set battering rams against it round about. So
what is it saying? The people are going to go to war against Israel. You, Black, Hispanic, Native, and Seminole Indian, right? Go ahead.
Moreover, take thou unto thee an iron pan, and set it for a wall of iron between thee and the city.
So who's the thee? Ezekiel. So what is it saying? It's an iron wall that's between Ezekiel or the prophets and the city. The city is us, the people. It's a wall, a tall wall between the prophets and the people, right? Go ahead.
And set thy face against it. And it shall be besieged. And thou shalt lay siege against it.
So the reason why there's an iron pan in between us is meaning the prophets can't stop it. from happening. Ain't no running to the prophets and saying we're going to keep the commandments now. No, this got to happen now. So that's why it's a tall and it's a pen there, because the prophets can't stop it, right? Go ahead.
It shall be a sign to the house of Israel.
It shall be a what?
A sign.
Which shows you this is a future prophecy, a sign for the house of Israel, right? Go ahead.
Verse 4. Lie thou also upon thy left side, and lay thy iniquity of the house of Israel upon it. According to the number of the days that thou shalt lie upon it, thou shalt bear their iniquity.
So when it's talking about bear your iniquity, it's dealing with punishment. You shall bear your iniquity. This is a punishment they're going to have to go through, right? Go ahead.
For I have laid upon thee the years of their iniquity.
So, go ahead.
According to the number of the days.
So these, even though it says days, this is dealing with years, right? Go ahead.
390 days. So shalt thou bear the iniquity of the house of Israel. And when thou hast accomplished them, lie again on thy right side. And thou shalt bear the iniquity of the house of Judah 40 days.
So what is this? 390 days or 390 years dealing with 40 days or 490 years. 40 years, right? So when you put them together, it's 430 years, right? So when he says lay on one side and then go to the left side, right? If you ever been through the judicial system, right? They have this thing where when you get a punishment, right? You can, sometimes they say you can run it concurrent or it runs consecutive. Meaning concurrent, you got all your charges and you're going to do the time all together. Consecutive means, nah, nigga, you're going to finish this one and then you start this one. This is a consecutive charge, meaning it's not concurrent. Once they're done with this 390 years, then the 400 year or the 40 years start. It's all together, right? All right, keep going.
I have appointed thee each day for a year. Therefore thou shalt set thy face towards the siege of Jerusalem, and thy arm shall be uncovered, and thou shalt prophesy against it.
And so what?
Prophesy against it.
Now Ezekiel lived in what, about 400, 500 BC? So this is a prophecy, right? Go ahead.
And behold, I will lay bands upon thee, and thou shalt not turn thee from one side to another, till thou hast ended the days of their siege.
So right. So that 430 year prophecy, right? The first, like we're finna get into it. Like the first slaves they give credit to as King Henry, right, of Portugal, and he got the first slaves at 1441, right? So if you do Hebraic years, 1441 AD to 1865 is 430 years. So from the first slave being captured to the Emancipation Proclamation that Abraham Lincoln signed would be 430 years Hebraically. That's what it's talking about right there. Now, true enough, what went and quote unquote changed no more. Right now we're in mental slavery, but the actual hardcore slavery is stopped, or they signed it in what? It signed it, Emancipation Proclamation. He signed it in 1863, but it wasn't implemented until 1865. That's when it wasn't until it was realized, right? But keep going.
All right, verse 8. No, we finished that.
Yeah.
Verse 9. Take thou also unto thee wheat and barley and beans and lentils and millet and fitches, and put them in one vessel, and make thee bread thereof. According to the number of the days thou shalt lie upon thy side.
So what is it done with? It's done with our slavery over here in America, right? Go ahead.
390 days shalt thou eat thereof.
No, you're at verse 10 now, right?
Yeah, now.
All right, go ahead.
And thy meat which thou shalt eat shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day. From time to time shalt thou eat it.
So what is it saying? We're going to eat scarcely. We're going to eat time to time. If anybody understood what happened in slavery, they barely ate. They ate in scarcely. That's what it's talking about, right? Go ahead.
Thou shalt drink also water by measure, and 6 parts of an hin. From time to time shalt thou drink. And thou shalt eat it as barley cake, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of man. So
what is he talking about? We're going to have
defiled food.
We're going to have defiled food. It's literally the next verse. Basically, you're going to have shit in your food.
Like we do now.
Exactly.
In the chocolate.
That's what I'm saying, the chocolate.
Yeah, FDA didn't approve a certain amount of fecal matter to be inside the chocolate. Every chocolate bar, candy, anything chocolate is fecal matter.
And it says right here, we're going to have dung in our food. Right? And the verse you was quoting, right? Read it again.
Verse 12.
No, read 13, because you're in 13.
13? Okay, 13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles.
Oh, it says where?
Eat the defiled bread among the Gentiles.
Which shows you what among the Gentiles mean. They're not in their land. They're among the Gentiles. They're in their land, right? Go ahead.
Whither I will drive them.
Yeah, whether he will what?
Whither I will drive them. So wherever he threw us, put us, that's where you're going to be eating that defiled bread.
Exactly, right?
You're going to live your suffering out.
Exactly, right? So, like, when I was dealing with the King Henry of Portugal, right? Let me share my screen. King Henry of Portugal, because he grabbed the first slaves, right? That goddamn devil. Let me share. And this is how we get what? The transatlantic slave trade, the European slave competition, right? You get
Spanish Inquisition.
all that stuff, right? Can you see it on your screen? All right. If you can, you read the introduction. Oh, you can if you can't. I'll read it.
Start from early life and Chuta?
No, it says introduction. You just read the introduction.
Okay. Introduction. Prince Henry the Navigator, aka Infante Dom Henrique, 1394 to 1460, was a Portuguese prince who famously helped capture the North African city of Ceuta, sponsored voyages of exploration with the aim of building colonies in the North Atlantic and West Africa, and began the Portuguese involvement in the African slave trade. Prince Henry earned his title, the Navigator, because he assembled a learning group of designers and maritime experts to design new ships, maps, and navigational instruments. Henry then funded expeditions to use this knowledge to sail the high seas and explore the West African coast, building up a massive body of maritime know-how with each expedition. Henry oversaw the first stages of a process that gained the Portuguese a global empire.
All right. The first stage of the global empire, right? So he was the one who first started off the Portuguese grabbing slaves, right? I want to go more in depth, but due to time, right, I'm going to have to speed this thing up, right? So he was the first one to grab some slaves off the coast of West Africa, the Portuguese, right? 1441. So they kicked off this whole slave trade, right? So what I want to do now is let's look at the 10 most enslaved tribes, right? We're going to read the 10 most enslaved tribes. Let me share my screen. My computer acting like it's froze on me, cuz. What is it? Satan, get behind me. All right. All right. Satan, get behind me. There you go. You know, so crazy. Like, black people will come up with some of the best phrases, like some of the greatest Christian songs. White people just steal it. All right, man. I'm trying to figure out, man, something wrong with my computer. Your Ruber tribe. Okay. I was trying to get it to start freezing. You see it? All right, I'm gonna try to read some of this, man. Y'all bear with me. All right. The majority of African slaves in pre-colonial Africa came from these areas in which the transatlantic slave trade was the most active in the East and West Africa. Below is a list of some of the 10 African nations where most of the African slaves came from during the transatlantic slave trade, right? The I don't know how to pronounce that. You know how to pronounce that?
Mbundu.
Yeah.
Mbundu people from Angola.
The Mbundu people from Angola. You probably can say it better than me, man. I'll probably sound racist. Anyway, man. But yeah, read the first one. You can read the first one.
The Mbundu people from Angola were amongst the most enslaved Africans according to the Atlas of the Transatlantic Slave Trade, with most being transported to Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
It was during this period that the legend of Queen Niziga, the Mbundu queen who led a rebellion against Portuguese slave traders, was born.
There you go.
The name almost sounds like that other word.
Like what?
Niga.
Niga.
Nazinga.
Oh, Nazinga. I'll tell you, Niga. Right?
Eventually, the Mbundu presence in Brazil was so high that they began to influence Brazilian culture, including the popular martial arts technique.
Yeah, it just.
Stuff, bro.
I ain't moving. It just like
technique capoeira, which is one of Brazil's most recognizable culture symbols that shows its strong connection to the Mbundu people and the transatlantic slave trade. Continue.
Yeah, the second one tribe is dealing with the Yoruba people, right?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Yoruba tribe. The Yoruba tribes are an ethnic group of southwestern and north-central Nigeria, and they also are one of Africa's largest ethnic groups. Going back so far as the 11th century, the Yoruba...
It glitched.
There we go. The Yoruba were the dominant culture force in southern Nigeria, and they were heavily engaged in the palm oil trade, which went hand in hand with the transatlantic slave trade. However, the Yoruba were both victims and beneficiaries of the trade, as many Yorubas were dispersed to the Americas.
Mm.
Yeah.
You can see it?
Yes.
All right.
Nevertheless, the Yoruba left in... Wait a minute, jump.
It went to Igbo. Oh, man. I think what it's doing is like adding ads and moving it.
Nevertheless, the Yoruba left an indelible mark on the cultural wherever they landed, as Yoruba culture became so prominent that the Yoruba Yorish cult pantheon began to be worshipped in North and South America, where it is still venerated today.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is Igbo.
Let me move it up a little bit. Man, I need an ad blocker on this.
Igbo. At number 3 of most enslaved African tribes, we have the Igbo, an ethnic group native to present-day South Central and Southeastern Nigeria. The Igbo are another one of Africa's largest nations, which was also affected by the transatlantic slave trade. Due to the Ero Confederacy, the Ero people, a subgroup of the Igbo, had migrated to Igbo land, creating a demand for slaves and palm oil. The Afro Confederacy captured and enslaved Igbos, selling them to the Europeans, with many of the slaves taken from the Biafran coastline being Igbos, who accounted for approximately. I always have problems saying that word. Approximately 13% of all slaves.
Hold on, it did something right. Man,
I'm trying to get it. It disappeared again.
Like, man, you know how bad I want to swear right now, but I'm trying.
It's your spirit. Okay. Approximately 13% of the slaves taken to the Americas.
All right, let's hopefully this
the Congo people.
Let me get it to go up a little bit. All right.
The Congo people lived along the Atlantic coast of Central Africa in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Just like the Mandinka in Upper West Africa, they created one of the most prominent empires in their region of Central Africa called the Congo Empire. The Congo got involved in the Atlantic slave trade largely due to Portuguese intrusions, which saw the Portuguese seize citizens of the Congo Empire, enslaving them illegally on a mass scale, with the situation becoming so dire that the Congo king wrote a letter to the Portuguese king complaining about the slave kidnapping.
And you know, it's so crazy because the Congo people, I got another article. He was an Israelite. He was an actual Israelite. That was a king that we had that went into slavery. You know how them white people like, what is this? Is an actual Israelite who's writing to the king of Portugal and saying, man, stop enslaving us. You know what they came and did? Slaved his ass too.
Okay, fight with people over here where the people at.
And yeah, man. Hey, you ever seen that that one cop, a cop who come in with the black people and he's just knocking niggas out and he's arresting folks, and then one person say, hey man, that's wrong. And then that nigga say, yo ass going to jail too, then. That's what happened. That's what happened, right?
Eventually the grandson of the Congo king was taken into slavery, and he would he would enter history as one of Brazil's most prominent slaves. Gangu Zumba, who would go on to build a big slave compound in Brazil under his own independent administration, where he lived like a king at one of slavery's main ports of entry.
All right.
Next, we have the Fon of Benin in southern Nigeria. The Fon are the largest ethnic group in Benin and can also be found in parts of southern Nigeria. During the 17th century, the Fon kingdom had become well established and was famous for its Dahomey Amazon female warriors, the inspiration for Black Panther's Dora Milaje, all-female royal guard. The Fon were both victims and beneficiaries of the transatlantic slave trade, and they eventually became a significant population amongst the enslaved people of Haiti and Trinidad.
Do it. You can see it where it says the fact.
In fact, the new voodoo slave religion that would emerge out of Haiti was directly influenced by Fon religion, leading to the first successful Black revolution in history with the success of a Haitian revolution. Next, we have the Mende tribe. Mende. The Mende people are a collection of ethnic groups all over West Africa that speak the Mende language, which, with the most widely recognized Mende-speaking nation being the Mandinka nation. The Mandinka built one of the largest empires in West Africa, becoming so prominent that the term Mandingo was coined in reference to their reputation as strong Black men. Mandinka culture was the most dominant in West Africa from around 1100 BC all the way to the 1600 AD, where the Mandinka kingdom around the coastline of West Africa fell victim to the slave trade. Today, the memory of the Mandinka and their history in the transatlantic slave trade has been immortalized in the story of the Amistad slave ship. Next, we have the Fulani ethnic group in West Africa. The Fulani are one of the largest, if not the largest ethnic group in the West Africa, from Senegal all the way up to the Central African Republic. The Fulani converted into Islam. Hey, nigga, can you give me water? The Fulani converted to Islam very early in their history, and were the primary slave raiders in West Africa, responsible for selling many African ethnic groups into slavery as they waged jihad, accompanied by slave raiding missions. Inasmuch as the Fulani were very active as slave traders, they were also amongst the most enslaved African tribes. Various Fulani groups would enslave others in the name of religion, particularly if they did not ascribe to Islam. So Fulani groups that were not Islamic were also victims of the slave trade. They sound like they was the ones talking about who that dead nigga on the net.
Hey man, hey, we starting to see who.
See who is who.
Look at the hell of that.
Become clear. Show us who the Levites is. Starting to see real clear. I don't believe what they said. That part about what the Mandingos was known for. I don't know. I don't believe what they said. Strong black men.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, strong back. But I got a strong back.
So you say the Abraham people, the borderlands of Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, and Burkina Faso were in the center of the Gold Coast slave region. As a result, many Abraham fell victim to the very active slave trade in their area, simply because they were located in a region in which the slave trade was intense. Wolof people of Senegal and Gambia.
Oh, let me bring it up. So, all right.
Coming in at number 9 of the most enslaved African tribes are the Wolof people of Senegal and Gambia. The Wolof were made up of a variety of separate kingdoms, and constant wars between them led to enslavement amongst the Wolof, particularly with the arrival of Islam in Senegal, which was accompanied by jihad. Internal Wolof jihads resulted in internal displacement and prisoners of war who were then traded as slaves.
Trying to get this last one. There we go.
Kamba tribe. Last but not least are the Kamba people of North Nigeria and parts of Cameroon. The Kamba were constantly raised by Fulani slave traders during the jihads of the 18th and 19th centuries. Eventually, in order to prevent themselves from being taken as slaves, the Kambas resorted to a resistance campaign in which they retreated to the mountains and attacked slave trading caravans.
So the 10 most enslaved tribes right there.
That's like Ruben right there. Fighting, still fighting.
Yeah. Like even when you go to the when you go into the Hebrew of Aruba, right? It goes back to Jeroboam. So like that's why you got to understand it. We understand what tribes is what. Like this is like, oh man, how do y'all know what the 12 tribe charters look like? Bro, if you just do a backtrack, you understand which tribe is which. All right. So European slave competition, man. I'm gonna read this one more thing on the European slave competition because this is the title of the class, right? Right. Shoot, you can read it. I'll read it. You can see it.
European competition. This section plans to unveil the competition between European powers to dominate African slave trade. The Portuguese were the first to introduce slave trade, and dominated the trade for 2 centuries. The Dutch succeeded the domination in the 17th century to be replaced by Britain and France, who battled for control over dominance. European powers constructed ports on African coasts and shipped slaves to be used for trading or as labor force in their colonies. Description of European countries' participation in slave trades will be dealt separately in each category.
All right, so I'm gonna just click on the image. Let me see if I can make it bigger. God. Well, yeah, I'm trying to make this. I'm trying to make it bigger. Man, it's not allowing me to make it bigger, man. Oh my God. But right here, it shows the separation of each country, right, and what they was doing. Because during the European slave competition, each one of these people knew where they was, which tribe they was grabbing and where they was taking them to. France, they knew who they was taking, and they took them to Haiti, or the other half of the Dominican Republic, or Hispaniola, right? They understand each where they dropped these people off, and they understand what country they did it. So it ain't no hard to figure out who is who, right? quote unquote, most African Americans are Igbo. We understand this through backtracking, right? So that's why I wanted to do the European slave competition, so our people can have a better understanding on what is actually going on with these things, right? All right. So I got more I could go into, but people have other things we have to take care of right now. And so if y'all got any questions, comments, y'all can just put it in the chat right now. I'll answer a couple questions. Or, y'all can just say shalom, man. But that's pretty much the end of the class. I had more I can go into. We got camp. We got some other things we got to take care of. So if y'all got a few minutes, or if I got a few minutes, if y'all got any questions, go ahead and put them in there. But shalom to the chat, man. Shalom to the chat. Like, share, and subscribe, man. We need y'all to like it, man, so we can break through the algorithm. Like, share, and subscribe. Shalom, Josh. Somebody said they want me to do a part 2 of the lesson. Okay. No, because it was that one dude when I was talking about how he was an Israelite, he was a king writing to the Portuguese. Like, I got another one where he was writing these letters. Like, he's just such a bitch ass nigga, man. If I can just if I can just say it, man. Oh my God. That's right, Alan. Alan said, see why we went into slavery, right? Like, when you start reading this, oh, they converted into Islam and started slaying other slaves. Like, my nigga, y'all wondering why God?
Yeah, there's no mystery. There's no mystery to it.
Like, you niggas are doing now. Like, when you read the Bible, right? Our people so goddamn grimy. Our people are some of the worst of the worst, man. And we see it to this day. To this day, y'all still act like niggas. Right? Where is it? Because when you go into Amos, like, when you read about them kids in Chicago, how they dying over shoes and all this stuff. That ain't nothing new, man. Y'all was doing it back in ancient times.
Back in the 80s, we was down over bomber jackets.
In the 80s, over bomber jackets?
Bomber jackets, bro.
Good Lord.
Bomber jackets. Down over Jordans.
That's how we know. That's how we know you the Jew, because you got the spirit of a Jew, right? You got the spirit of the nigga, right? Get Amos 2 and 6, right?
This is the book of Amos, chapter 2, and verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Israel.
Israel, right? Go ahead.
And for 4, I will not turn away the punishments thereof.
Mm-hmm.
Because thy sold the righteousness for silver. See,
you sold people for silver, right? Go ahead.
And the poor for a pair of shoes.
You sold niggas for a pair of shoes. Like, come on.
It doesn't have to be so precisely precise with it. Like, niggas is still killing for shoes. Bro.
Niggas is still doing it.
No.
For a pair of Jordans, man.
Back then it was for a pair of sandals. They had the fly sandals there was.
Man, that nigga said, boy, that boy got them Air Moses.
Got them maple sandals.
Got them Air Moses. Blood, man. I got to do it to you, man. I had to do it to you. I had to see you up.
That's crazy.
Got to do it to you, man.
Slide down. My feet, Jordan.
Wait, man, that nigga got gold on this gold. Because I seen them in Egyptians. Like, they used to put gold, like, on their toes, right? Like, like a gold ring.
Oh, rings, yeah.
Like, they had gold caps. Like,
over their whole toe?
On their toe. Like, the shoe would be gold. The shoe would be gold, or the sandal would be gold, and then on the caps of their little toes would be gold. I can see a Judite in there.
Everything used to be gold back then, though.
What Judite said, man, get what? You know what I did to Joseph, my brother? Guess what I do to you, nigga? You know what I'm saying? They threw that nigga down. What I did this to Joseph, boy, you know what I do to you? Like, come on. Hold on. See if somebody said it would be great if y'all can do a lesson on what tribe in Africa definitely aren't Israelites, i.e. Zulu and so forth. Let me see. Reason being, a lot of people in camps teaching that the Bantu speaking people are Israelites, and it causes confusion. Yeah, Bantu people speaking. That's why you put Bantu speaking in, because some people think Bantu is an actual lineage.
Yeah,
just a language. Wow, somebody said for real, leather coats in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord. Y'all niggas would kill each other over clothes.
You always want what the other nigga got. That's why God had to make it one of the top 10 commandments. Don't covet what your brother got.
Yep.
Because he already knows niggas kill you for that leather jacket.
Well, he said, nah, his ox, his ass, or his woman.
Nothing,
nigga.
Get your own, nigga. Get your own. The worst you can do is go ask brother, how did you get it? So you can show me how to get my own.
Oh, there you go.
You know? Boy's been a firm believer in not giving everything to people. I'd rather teach you how to get it yourself.
Well, you know,
for the longevity, not just.
What's that old saying? Give a man a fish, he can eat for a day. Mm-hmm. Teach him how to fish.
Eat forever to the dead. That's what people out here doing nowadays. You got so many people out here that just don't want to work for it, though. Everything come easy to them.
Man, y'all ain't talking about nothing, man. It's all good.
It's talking about like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, like, share, and subscribe, man. Matter of fact, we need to pin that.
Shalom, kid.
All right, man. I'm gonna give y'all 2 minutes. If y'all don't ask no questions, man, we're gonna call it a day. It's all good though. All right, y'all got a minute. What's it? Deacon once said Israelites in South Africa are called colored, but the Hamites are called black. All right. Yeah, man, Deacon. Man, last night after class, I was looking at some videos with Chief, right? And he was showing me this Hamite led congregation of people saying it was Israelites.
In Africa?
In Africa, right?
Uh-huh.
West Coast, man, in Kenya. In Kenya.
How that turned out?
Like, you can look at him like, nah, they ain't no nigga. They booming. Like oh my God. He was just showing us like in like so many different areas, like they got a camp here, they got a camp in India. Like, what? Like what? Like, you know, it's camps in Netherlands, like it's like it's camps all over. But if you in Babylon, man, y'all repent, keep the commandments, man. Lord willing, man, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, man, he come get us out of this place. But as for you other people that's around the world, not only worrying about over here. You been to Kenya? I don't see it. I'm with you. It's a whole bunch of goddamn Hamites. You can tell by the head, right? Like I think it'd be, I don't know, man. Is that racist? You know, their head just like weird and they just black as hell.
Everybody do have bone structures on the skin.
What do you call it? Phenotypes? Good Lord.
You see them, you know, Ethiopian, you see Ethiopian. It's just clear.
No, you can tell. It's like, hey, it's the spirit, man. Romans 8:16. Somebody put Sicarii, Atlanta. When are you and Sergeant Yatab going to team up to do a video together, King? I don't know, man. I think Yatab, yeah, Yatab, that's my guy, man. Sergeant Yatab, that's my dude, right? I wish he would do more like videos of the Christian church, man, because he's hilarious, man. I watch him all the time, man. Like his books on the Christian church is epic, man. I don't know, Lord willing, I talk to him. I think Yatab and Hassad should do something together too. Yeah, you can tell by their spirit. Yeah, you can tell by their spirit. That's right. Since their skin always look dull, ours had that shine to it. That's right. That glow. I'm saying, man, that's like, what's that chick they try to put on that pedestal? Who in Black Panther, but she be liking the white man.
Black Panther? You talking about
the average, yeah.
The main character sister.
Not the main character, sister, his love interest. Like the Black Panther is like his love interest was that little bald headed. Yeah, she black as hell. That ain't no Israelite. Yeah, something like that. Someone asks, do you have classes for women and children not in account? Yeah, Lupita. Well, hey, I'll tell you this. Me and Zombie are to think about doing a women's class right here on this Atlanta channel. So look out for that. As far as for them kids, we got children's Bibles, man. We got a children's Bible, man. Go get you a children's Bible from Deacon. Here, that'll get them right.
It's the woman's place to teach the children.
Yeah, we teach you, you go teach the kid.
So if we have a woman's class, that already takes care of the children.
That's right.
You learn it, right?
Somebody said, you killed the debate. You killed the debate. I guess he meant to put with y'all Judah the other day. Oh man, all right. That nigga think he's Jesus. I really wanted to crucify him, nigga. That nigga's talking about he Jesus. Like, man, let's crucify this nigga and see if he really is Jesus. You know what I'm saying? It's Passover weekend. Let's crucify this nigga since he say he Jesus.
Yeah, I missed out, but I heard about it.
Nigga gonna say Jesus. All right, let's crucify his ass. See if you like that.
Get a nail.
Hell yeah, go whip his back, nigga. Nah, nigga, don't talk about the good prophecies. No, let's beat the hell out of him.
Get a rope, big rip his beard off.
Yeah, we're gonna
spit on that.
We're gonna spin in his face and rip his beard out, and then beat the hell out of his back.
Take pain like Christ.
And yeah, and then we go crucify you, nigga. Nah, you want to be Jesus, right?
We'll drag you up down the goal line.
Yeah, we're gonna drag your ass. Nigga gonna talk. You gonna know I ain't Jesus now. Not no more. When you say crucify him, I ain't Jesus now.
That Christ can be just 1 or 2. You can't bury this stuff. I'm gonna bury you.
Yeah, niggas is crazy.
Stay for it, bro. You go bury this stuff. I wish you would do it more detail in that story and show us what they went through.
Somebody put Sicarii Memphis used to do sisterhood classes. They are not doing them no more. Well, actually, he does it on Sicarii Southeast. So y'all wanted the Sicarii women classes, Sicarii Southeast. Yeah, somebody put Sarge 2 is hilarious. That's right. That nigga's crazy. That's my guy. Yeah, that's right. Him always want to be us until it ain't time to be us.
Everybody want to be us.
Him, yes, me black.
But they can't stand us. They call us a kata. But yeah, now you black man. Huh? Yeah. Now you the black man. But you call us cotton pickers.
Cotton pickers. Man, it's all good, man. For y'all people, like, share, and subscribe, man. And with that, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba, Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shah, and Shalom.
Shalom, family. Y'all be